On July 4th, flash floods tore through central Texas, claiming over 130 lives, among them 27 children and counselors at Camp Mystic. Now, their families, calling themselves Heavens 27, have turned grief into action, pushing through sweeping new summer camp safety laws. Here's what happened and what changes are coming. Camp Mystic, a beloved all-girls retreat on the Guadalupe River, became the epicenter of heartbreak. Cabins built just steps from the river were swept away when waters rose overnight, merging with a nearby creek. Campers and counselors were told to stay put, but rising floodwaters made that decision deadly. Of 130 victims statewide, 27 were from this single camp. In the aftermath, grieving parents united as Heavens 27. Rather than turn inward, they mobilized, drafting proposals, testifying in Austin, and meeting lawmakers. Matthew Childress, who lost his daughter Chloe, said, "All of them lost their lives, but they have now given their lives for others in the future." On September 5th, Governor Greg Abbott signed a landmark law with bipartisan support. It includes banning cabins in floodplains, no state license for camps that risk siting children in danger zones, mandatory evacuation routes posted in every cabin, emergency warning systems that function even without internet, public address systems for rapid alerts. Camp safety is now law in the great state of Texas, Abbott declared. Not all camps supported the reforms. Operators of nearby Camp Waldemar, Camp Stewart, and Vista camps warned the costs of moving cabins out of floodplains could force closures. They called the burden impossible. Still, the bill passed both chambers overwhelmingly, the Senate unanimously. Camp Mystic wasn't blindsided. FEMA placed much of the camp in a 100-year flood zone back in 2011, but the camp successfully challenged those designations, avoiding restrictions and flood insurance. Tragedy struck anyway, in the same vulnerable spot, just shy of the camp's 100th anniversary. Carrie Hanna lost her 8-year-old daughter Hadley. "If this legislation would have been in place, they would be here today," her husband Doug said. Parents like the Hannas insist they are pro-camp. They want children to enjoy Texas summers, but safely. Their advocacy made this law reality in just 3 weeks. Kerr County sits in what meteorologists call Flash Flood Alley, among the most flood-prone regions in America. Camps are woven into its culture, with generations of families sending kids there. The July 4th disaster has forced Texans to reckon with the risks of mixing tradition with climate realities. Supporters say these reforms will save lives. Critics warn smaller camps may shutter. But what's clear is that Heavens 27 left a legacy, ensuring that flood safety is no longer optional in Texas youth camps. Tragedy reshaped Texas law in just weeks. What do you think? Are the reforms enough to protect kids, or should states nationwide adopt similar rules? Share your thoughts below. And if you want more in-depth reporting on how policy changes after disaster, hit subscribe and ring the bell.